Good evening and welcome to the special early edition of the Buck Stops Here Tonight, a day on which small investors in Bengal have broken down in court asking where did their savings go. But forget the investors, because now politics has taken over. What started off as a regional chit fund scam has now become a national political battle. On the program tonight, as the chit fund con man is sent to custody along with his accomplices, you have poor families breaking down in court. But you also have the Trinamool now targeting the Congress, saying Congress ministers and leaders must explain their connection to the scam.
एजेंट आज मुसीबत में हम लोगों का जीने का कोई रास्ता नहीं बचा है। इसका आंदोलन हम लोग जब तक हमें न्याय नहीं मिलेगा हम लोग आंदोलन करते रहेंगे।
So the politics takes over grief. We'll have a special focus on that later in the program. Also coming up on the Buck Stops here in just a bit, the politics of Parliament, where after 2 years the House panel on the 2G scam is showing signs of a vertical split, and opposition leaders are now demanding the removal of the JPC chairman.
The people who were very happy with my functioning all on a sudden become very, very unhappy and they want to remove me.
Not willing to have a debate with him. We have moved a no confidence with him, against him.
So that face-off coming up later in the program between PC Chako, the man who heads the House panel on 2G, and Ravi Shankar Prasad, one of the members who was asking for him to be sacked. But let's start now with our top story this evening. The Trinamool Congress is now targeting the Congress. What began as a regional eruption of a chit fund scam in Bengal is now threatening to become a national political battle, as the Trinamool Congress today has targeted 2 Congress leaders. It has targeted a Congress minister in the government for being connected, according to it, to Sudipto Sen, the main conman in the scam, and it's also asking Nalini Chidambaram, wife of the finance minister, to explain her legal connections to the chit fund conman.
The accused and the anger. Tears, chaos, protests ruled outside this Kolkata court as the mastermind of a chit fund-like company, Sudipto Sen, and 2 aides were produced. The court allowed the police to interrogate them for the next 14 days. They have been charged with cheating and criminal intimidation, which led to the collapse of the Saradha group, robbing lakhs of small investors of their savings, many of them poor, some illiterate, most helpless. These are just a handful of them.
जब तक हमें न्याय नहीं मिलेगा हम लोग आंदोलन करते रहेंगे।
There are lots of people who are aggrieved, angry and completely devastated by what has happened surrounding the Saradha group. Battling a tremendous anger at the grassroots level ahead of the Panchayat elections and the links between the Saradha group and these 2 TMC MPs, the Trinamool attacked the Congress. They have demanded the resignation of the Union Minister of State for Health, A.H. Khan Chaudhary, and put out this letter by him. Sent to the Prime Minister a year ago, the Bengal MP asked for his complaint against Saradha to be withdrawn and Saradha Realty be kept out of the RBI investigation, ending by saying that Saradha Realty had complied with all legal guidelines and is without any violation.
My letter is only source of maybe unfortunately about one company of many companies of the Saradha group.
Hours earlier, the Bengal ruling party attacked Nalini Chidambaram, the Union Finance Minister's wife, without naming her. They cited the mastermind Sudipto Sen's letter to CBI, which named their 2 MPs Srinjoy Bose and Kunal Ghosh. Sen claims he paid more than 1 crore rupees for consultation for legal work over 1.5 years as Sen was trying to set up a television channel in Guwahati along with a client of hers. The TMC, hinting at P. Chidambaram, demanded that the Congress minister should answer. But sources close to Nalini Chidambaram say she was representing her client in her professional capacity, that she advised against Saradha's investment and that she was paid for the work she did. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has been criticized for raising taxes to repay 500 crore of the money Saradha owes investors. This suggestion, perhaps in jest, didn't really soothe nerves.
আমি ক্ষমা চেয়ে নিয়ে বলছি একটা জায়গা থেকে আমায় কিছু টাকা ইনকাম করতে হবে, বাদবাকি টাকাটা আমি অন্য জায়গা থেকে নিয়ে আসব। আমরা 10% সিগারেটের উপর ট্যাক্স বসাবো, এতে আমি কিছুটা টাকা পাবো। কিছু হবে না, একটু সিগারেটের দাম বাড়বে, আপনারা একটু বেশি করে সিগারেট খাবেন, তাহলে টাকাটা আমার তাড়াতাড়ি উঠে আসবে।
Worried over the snowballing crisis, the central government ordered an inquiry by the Serious Fraud Investigation Office into all chit funds across the country. But the left has demanded a CBI inquiry. With Sunetra Chaudhary in Delhi, in Kolkata, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
So what was a regional story about a chit fund scam has now become a national political battle, with the Trinamool training its guns at the Congress and at the central Congress leadership. Is Mamata Banerjee just trying to pass the buck, or does the Congress have some serious answering to do? In other words, pun fully intended, can no one be given a clean chit in this con job? Let's introduce our panel this evening. Derek O'Brien, senior leader of the Trinamool Congress. Also joining us from Lucknow tonight is senior leader of the Congress and its spokesperson Abhishek Singhvi. And with us in the studio, Seema Guha, a very senior journalist, but somebody who's actually worked as an employee of a newspaper financed by Shudipto Sen, now in custody. Abhishek Singhvi, before I get Derek in, because we have seen the Trinamool Congress actually now directly train its guns at the Congress, raising two sets of questions. One about why the wife of the finance minister should at all be linked to this con man, Shudipto Sen, and why the Congress should not have some explaining to do, if Mamata Banerjee has explaining to do. And two, raising questions about why a minister of state in the central government should be giving clean chits to Saradha reality. Now, these are questions for the Congress to answer as well. Has the Trinamool managed to corner the Congress and successfully deflect responsibility?
Barkha, I'd hate to start this discussion by making it into a tutu-meme political wrangling match, because our hearts must go out to those large victims of a Ponzi scheme who will take little solace when they find political parties bickering over who did what and who was responsible. They need succor, support. That's point one.
Yeah.
Point two, we are already a over-legislated country, and I think three things need immediate focus. And I'll answer your question in a minute, in half a minute.
I was wondering.
We need three categorical things. No, of course I will, immediately. Yeah. But three very important things have to be said. One, there has to be immediate scheme for whatever money is left in this company, along with the sale of its immovable property, to be put into a fund to repay these people, and the balance which is short in that fund must be provided by the state government and by other governments. Second, there should be a complete, total, single task force. That's the most important, because there are about 8 agencies involved here, from money laundering to serious frauds to SEBI to police, etc. And it will be a big mess unless you create a single task force with a single window approach to go after this. Thirdly, every guilty person, and I repeat that, irrespective of political color, must, where the criminal liability arises, be chased and punished and prosecuted.
Okay.
And we should not make it into a political wrangling match.
Okay.
Now to your question, which is my fourth point.
Yeah.
It is distressing, it is very distressing that the Trinamool Congress is doing nothing else except turning around when it's caught with its hand in the till to make very specious excuses and deflecting attention. I didn't want to start with a political wrangling match. I'm only answering a question as a fourth point. The Trinamool Congress has much to answer for. The details given out in that letter of Mr. Sen talk about the very old, long, continuous links of the Trinamool.
Yeah.
I completely decry the attempt to rope in Ms. Nalini Chidambaram. I have no hesitation in saying that to suggest that that appearing for someone as a lawyer, if that is traced as a connection It's deplorable. The Trinamool knows that it is not on. They know that there is absolutely no connection. If you represent somebody as a lawyer, the worst criminal in this country deserves to be legally defended, and lawyers are not supposed to believe their clients or judge their clients or accept their clients' innocence or guilt. So that's nothing but deflecting of attention.
Okay, let me take this.
Lastly,
yeah.
if, and it's a very big if, if any congressman is found to be criminally involved, I don't think the Congress is out there supporting him.